Hey guys, I hope you can hear me okay, and it's not too loud. Alright, we're going to be playing some Tomb Raider on Android. So we got sound, we can change the music to ambiance or OST. Get that out of the way. Detail. That out of the way. Got touch controls. Yeah. Let's just jump right into it. I didn't do anything to the screen, by the way. This is what it looks like when you plug it into any kind of screen. And yes, the video quality isn't very good. Where is that? I have it on battery saver because the battery in this thing is pretty old. Okay. Here we go. So I'm playing it on an LG G8 ThinQ. Pretty old phone now. It came out in, I believe, 2019. It's the oldest phone I have. Actually, no, that's not true. Shit. Oh, sorry. My seating. I had to change my seating position a little bit. So, the oldest phone I technically own, I think I still have it, is an iPhone 4 that I got from my brother years ago. But I can't remember if that is older or newer than the Motorola Defy XT, which was my very first Android phone, running Android 2.3. Couldn't be upgraded. So there are achievements in these games on Google Play, and they're pretty decent. You know, you could get most of them in a normal playthrough without really having to do much. The only ones that are really the hardest ones to get, and I struggle to get them, even being a pretty, you know, playing Tomb Raider as many times as I have, but playing it on Android without a controller makes it infinitely harder. And it's not impossible, as you can see. I'm using. So one of the tricks, you can use left and right on the D-pad, the virtual D-pad, and I like doing that because I feel like that's what you're supposed to do. But a lot of times it doesn't turn fast enough, so I'll do straight on the D-pad, and then I'll use the sidestep buttons while I'm running. So I'll show you. Just like that. There is analog control, if you could call it that. Again, it's not really true analog, but you can put your finger in the center of the D-pad and slide up slowly, and she'll walk. And then as you move, you know, a little sharper, she'll run. Or you can just set it into walk mode, which you can't see the buttons, but the buttons you can't see. I gotta get rid of this. Hold on, let me move. So there's the look button and the walk buttons right there, as you can see. So I have played this version a lot. Like, I've practiced on it a lot, not recently, but like a year or two ago, I started playing it more, and I've beat it with a controller, and you can use virtually any controller nowadays, like any Razer, Kishi, or Backbone controller, which are just absurdly priced right now. You can even use GameSir. I think it's also compatible. I think when I first bought it, when it came out, and I'm talking 10 years ago now, I believe I had the original Moga Pocket back then, and it worked with that. I wish I still had that controller. It wasn't great, but you know what? It was super portable, and it had a built-in clip to attach your phone to, which would be pretty useful right now. So anyways, I say that because, as you can see, I'm just looking at it on my monitor, and I can pretty much control it without having to look. Better kill. Normally, I don't like to kill these guys if I'm just passing over, because, you know, they're not really doing anything to bother me. But if I'm going to go for the secret, or not the secret, but if I'm going to go for the med pack down there, I'm going to have to get rid of them. So this LGG8, being as old as it is, also has a pretty crap battery now. I mean, the battery originally wasn't very hot to begin with. See if I can kill him without... He'll come back out. Come on. So, the battery, I believe, is 3,500 milliamp hours, I mean, which is pitiful. I think even in 2019, that wasn't very good. But it also allowed them to make the phone very, very thin. Because for a 2019 flagship phone, and I would consider it fairly flagship in that year, I mean, heck, it still beats out a lot of phones now. And I'm not just saying that. It's got, I mean, besides that crappy battery, which doesn't last very long. So my experience playing this game is once the battery drops below like 40 or 50%, it just shuts off. So if that happens, I'll just end the stream. I don't think I'll beat it. I do have a USB-C to HDMI cable that does allow you to charge the phone, but when I was trying to use it earlier, well, for one, it's only about 2 feet or 3 feet long. It's very short. It's my old Motorola that I had from my old Moto Edge. And it was a great cable while it lasted, but when I plug it in with that cable, the audio doesn't work. The video comes in just fine. By the way, the screen is 3120 by 1440p, and it's OLED. OLED. But, the video worked great, but the audio was crackling, which is obviously, you know, very annoying. You can't have that. So I switched over to this cable I have now that I'm using. I forget what the brand is. Very good brand. It's 10 feet long, and it's braided. So it's very, very durable, very strong. It's got a little LED in the end that plugs into the phone to let you know it's got power. And I switched to that, and it works great. So, but the problem is, obviously, it doesn't charge. I don't know why I bought it. At the time when I got it, it was, I didn't really have any computers to work with. I didn't have a laptop or anything. We're talking like 2 or 3 years ago now. And other than my old Windows 7 laptop, which only had VGA out, which at the time the laptop came out, which was 2013, that might that might shut on me. Ooh, there we go, recovered. So I was using my LG G8, which was my primary phone for a long time, as a monitor. Like, not as a monitor, I'm sorry, as a like a little pocket PC. I would plug it into my TV and watch YouTube and other things. And it's still great for that, but I needed something that could reach across the room without, and that was the only thing I could really find that was 10 feet long. I don't think at the time you could find anything that was chargeable. Whoops. Like that could charge it, and I'm sure there is now, but since then I don't need that anymore, so this cable's kind of pointless. Except to use with maybe like a newer phone that doesn't have battery issues. Also, you would think you'd be able to wirelessly charge it and leave it like, all right, there we go. Caves, 10 minutes. That's a little slow for me. You think you could lay it on a wireless charger and plug it into a monitor. That doesn't work. Strangely enough. I don't know why. But anyways, this phone is still very competitive, can compete with a lot of modern phones today, in my opinion, especially since you can get it for very cheap. And and it's got an amazing screen. It's 6.1 inches. Like I said, it's OLED. It's 1440p. It has secondary screen capability and its own little, like, Samsung Dex wannabe. Let's see, where is it? Uh-oh. Oof. Very lucky there. It's got a Qualcomm Snapdragon 855. It isn't 5G, but it came out in 2019. I don't know when the first 5G phones came out. I feel like it was in 2020. I think 2020 or 2021. That's when I got my first 5G phone. I think I have to go this way. Yep. And so it's only 4G LTE. In my phone's case, it's Verizon. And I never got it unlocked. It's got 6 gigabytes of RAM. I'm not sure what kind of RAM. I'm going to guess, considering its age, it's probably LPDDR4. But it's still very, very good now. It's just, I think because of the battery, and, it's kind of starting to show its age a little bit. Besides that, like, it does lag in some things. But I see phones and tablets released today that only have 3 and 4 gigabytes of RAM. So, and that's pretty unacceptable. Today, you shouldn't have a phone that's, like, less than 6 gigabytes, maybe 8 to run anything, especially if you're going to game with it. You should have at least 8 gigabytes of RAM today. A device. Now, this game came out in 2015, early 2015, and the second one came out in October of 2015. Now, from what I remember, because I got them both when they came out separately, and because, you know, obviously, why not? Forget what I paid for them. I think it was 99 cents or $2.99 or something. Very cheap compared to games today. And the only permissions I think it asks for is like file access. Well, anyways, because the last time it was updated was in 2016, it doesn't work with like any Androids newer than I think 8 or 9, and this is running 8.0. Come on. I know we're up to 15. I know I can't run it on any of my phones besides my old Moto Z Droid. And that's another great phone, you know? It's a little older than this. I don't think it's got second screen, like a second screen mode, though. So capturing it on screen would be kind of hard. Although I think you can do YouTube Live on your phone. And will capture the phone screen directly. That sounds like it would tax the RAM even further, though. I'm going to try and move this icon over here. You guys can't see it. But it's basically the icon that lets you choose between 19 by 9 or 16 by 9. If I choose 19 by 9, which is the phone's native resolution, it'll look really bad. Now, I used to have a, well, I still do have it, but it's not in really usable condition, a Sony Xperia 1 Mark III. Still a really great phone if you can find them at a reasonable price. That's something I constantly deal with, by the way. Hitting the roll button. That's because I keep using those sidestep buttons. And that has an ability to plug into a monitor as well, or a TV, and use, but it doesn't have like a screen cloner like this does. It's strictly like a Samsung DeX experience. I forget what Sony calls it, but it worked pretty good. Like, you could resize it from 21:9, which is its resolution, because it's a very skinny screen. And I hate 21:9 screens. It's terrible. It's a 4K screen, though. That was the good thing. I think the Xperia 4 and the Xperia 1 Mark IV and Mark V were 4K, and then when the Mark 6 and 7 came out, they reduced them to 1080p. But they're supposedly just as good, which I don't buy, but 4K screen on a phone, it was worth every bit, I think, of the $700 I think I paid for it, or $800 on Amazon. And it lasted about 3 years, but my problem is the battery. What the hell happened to it? I'm trying to think. I don't know, something happened to it. The screen's basically no good, and I replaced the screen. I replaced the battery and the screen using original Sony parts that I purchased from Encompass, which is basically it's Sony's only US parts distributor right now. That's ENCOMMPASUS, I believe. I keep them bookmarked, but I don't need to buy anything from them because I don't really have. I do have a lot of Sony products, but like nothing that they carry parts for, really. They still carry Xperia 1 Mark III batteries, though. So I put a new battery in it, and the screen was fine, and I know I put it together right, but then all of a sudden the battery started getting hot again, just like the old battery, and it caused a black smudge or black marks to appear in the screen, which you can't get rid of. So the screen's basically useless now. You could still see on it, but it's useless as a phone. And with it getting so hot, oh boy, that is going to get annoying very fast. I'm already annoyed by it. But with the battery getting hot, it's kind of it causes the battery to wear out pretty quickly. So earlier I was talking about the achievements. So in this game, if you don't know, you just tap on the name. In this game, there are achievements for each world. So there's Peru, Greece, Egypt, and Atlantis. Well, if you make it through all the levels without dying once, and saving and then dying doesn't count. You have to literally not die. Believe me, I've tried it over and over again. You get an achievement called Iron Raider. Iron Raider Peru, Iron Raider Greece, so on and so forth. I've been able to, I've gotten Peru before, but I cannot unlock Greece, Iron Raider Greece. And I'm sure, as you can probably imagine, if you know these games well, the reason why is because St. Francis's Folly, it's very difficult to navigate that room successfully with touch controls. I've done it. I've beat the level a couple times with touch controls. See, like right there, you really have to be careful, and you have to time your jumps very well. You have to be patient. It's not a race. There's no achievements for like completing the game in a timely fashion. And see right there, my thumb wasn't even riding the left button, and it started to. That can cause a lot of problems later on. Right there. So yeah, in St. Francis's Folly, you can imagine I've fallen off the ledge so many times playing this, and it's really pissed me off because I think you can reload a save from the end of Peru and try again, so you don't have to keep starting the game over and over. But I haven't actually tested that out. See, if I hit the walk button, she won't go anywhere. And then I can hit the look button, just like that. It's pretty cool. Come on. This and GTA, like GTA 3 and Vice City and San Andreas, are the only like console games I know that have decent touch controls. Let me just make sure. Ooh, there we go. Like personally, I think GTA 3 is very playable with those touchscreen controls. A lot of people might disagree with that. Now, this is where the Tomb Raider music is supposed to be playing. And I have it set to OST, but it sounds like it's, what the hell was that sound? Oh, it's my phone. Ooh, that could have ended badly. See, I wasn't really paying much attention. I like that every time you pick up a new item, it puts the name on the screen. Come on. See, she doesn't roll when I want her to, but she rolls when I don't want her to. And many annoyances of touchscreen. Now, I could play this with any kind of controller, Bluetooth controller, whatever. The reason I don't want to is because at that point, it's no different than just Tomb Raider on the PlayStation. And in Sega Saturn to a degree, other than the fact that it's got very cleaned up graphics. They retextured everything. Well, virtually everything. Realtech VR did an amazing job with this port. Now, from what I understand, they were going to release... Now, Tomb Raider 2, real quick, I want to say, has way more complicated achievements. Like, from what I remember, some of the achievements are insane, and there's a lot of them. And this game only has like 15 or 16 achievements, I believe, and Tomb Raider 2 has like, I think, 40. And some people might like that, you know, if you're a avid Android gamer, which I'm not. Ooh, pooh. I can see the phone like vibrating or getting a notification, and then, you know, she lets go of the ledge, and then I'm dead. That would be kind of funny. I'd be a little upset, but that would be kind of funny. Alright. Normally I can make it through this no problem, but I have been killed before because of the touch controls. Like I said, now, I don't know if you guys have seen or played, I'm sure you have, if you own Android or iOS and iPhone, but they've released GTA 3 and Vice City and San Andreas Definitive Editions. They're all separate. The best way to get all three for a decent price, though, is to just subscribe to GTA Plus for, it's not too expensive. I think it's $11 a month. But you get access to a ton of their games for free, or it's included in the price, I guess. And, you know, if you're pretty decent at games, you can beat you can beat 3 in Vice City within that month. San Andreas, on the other hand, I've gone far in it, but like it can get pretty tough. So come on, where is it? It usually ends up running across up the second floor of the other place, the other side. He's probably right below us. Yep, right there. I don't want to jump down because there he is. Come on. Oh, I hate killing the bears. They're so furry, so brown and lumpy. Anyways, So now, if you're like me and you just want to buy the games outright because you like actually owning the games, it's $20 per game. So you can buy GTA San Andreas. Interestingly, you can buy it on Google Play for $19.99, and no, it never goes on sale. I never see discounts for them. You'd think they would be, considering GTA, the Definitive Trilogy, is on discount on every platform, like all the time. You know, I think the only one that never goes on sale, from what I see, is like on the PlayStation, but on Xbox and on Steam especially, it's like always on sale, and that's where I just got it. By the way, you don't have to hit that switch there. It's not necessary unless you need to go back and get something. So, but GTA 3 and GTA Vice City, which are the better games in my opinion, that's my opinion. I think GTA 3 is the best one because of the storyline. But San Andreas is a lot of fun. It's wicked in depth. I mean, that's a game that you could definitely get your money's worth out of. 15-40, that's not too bad. I have beat it in like 13 and a half minutes, but it's not too far off. So anyways, you can do a swan dive, and I think there is an achievement for that, but it's hard to do that in the, I just don't want to break my neck. Oh, no! Darn it. Anyways, and now she's stuck in walk mode. GTA 3 and Vice City have to be purchased in-game. Like, you get a trial, which San Andreas doesn't give you, which is, I'm sure, by design. But 3 and Vice City, just like some of their other games, you can play them for 30 minutes. Tied with Bleach is playing Final Fantasy 16. And, for 30 minutes, which I've played them both for 30 minutes, 30-minute trial on Android. And if you have a good enough phone, like my Galaxy S series or I mean, what else did I play it on? You play it on the Xperia 1. Anything with like enough RAM and a fairly decent chip. I think you can even play it on like my cheapest phone, and I got it for free because I beta tested, but it's like $100 normally, and it's worth $100 in my opinion. Is the TCL 50XE, I think it's called, or the XL, the TCL 50XL NXT Paper 5G, which is a awful name for a phone. I do also have right here, I broke that phone, by the way. It lasted a long time, though, without a case. This is my other phone I beta tested for them. This is a few years ago now. Ooh, see, it says right there, not for sale. This is the TCL 50LE, which is not a very good phone, and I made that known that they were pretty much, if this is how it was going to be released, they were not going to have any happy customers. I think they gave me a bad version, though, and I say that because I thought it was my first phone from TCL to beta test, and I thought it was just because it was a brand new phone, I was beta testing it, and they're just like that. But holy it runs better now, strangely enough, so maybe, you know, some of the software doesn't work anymore, it's not tracked. Ooh. I was just watching the first few Jurassic Park games, movies today, too, so this is kind of cool. Uh-oh. He can kill you, or she, or whatever. There she is. I like in the remaster... Come on, back up! Slayer 1. Hell yeah. That is for... I think it's killing the T-Rex without dying. And there's Slayer 2, and then Slayer 3, I believe. Pretty cool. Oh, I don't have to go this way. Why am I going this way? Oof, this touchscreen, man. It's gonna get me killed. I love the dinosaurs. Anyways, the remastered, they look really good. And it shows you the health bar when you're fighting bosses, which I love that. Like, I'm sure a lot of people hate that, but I loved it. I thought that was such a cool addition. So, as I was saying with GTA, the Definitive Trilogy, so if you want to buy each one on Android, and I do, personally, because they look amazing, if you have a good enough phone and you have the settings all cranked up, and that's actually how I played them for the first time. All three of them was the Definitive Edition on Android, through Netflix. When Netflix offered it, it doesn't anymore. You can still download it, but when you try to log in, it just says it's not offered by Netflix anymore, which kind of sucks. It would be cool if they still offered it today, but I understand why they don't. It's a lot of, you know, freebie games. Anyways, just like those games, though, personally, I think $20 is not a bad price for each one. If you're a big GTA fan, I'm not the biggest GTA fan. But, I mean, $60 for 3 games that are now, like, 3 years old now, or maybe 4 years old, kind of sucks, you know? But you get to play them portably. That's kind of cool. Other than, you know, remote playing from a console or something. But in the vein of those games, I would love to see Tomb Raider Remastered released through Netflix, or just release the Tomb Raider 1 Remastered, 2 Remastered, and 3 Remastered with the expansions, because this game does have the expansions. Release that on Android and iOS, just like Rockstar did with those GTA Definitive. I'm surprised they haven't yet. You know? They released it on the Switch, believe it or not. I can hear the raptor. I don't know. I've heard they're going to be releasing the Survivor trilogy on Android and iOS soon, and that's pretty impressive. I can only imagine because today those games still hold up graphically, especially if you buy them on PC or play them on Luna. They still hold up really well, but that's not what I think most people want to play. I think most people want to play the remastered versions on their phone. Like, I don't know if you've ever heard of the Razer Edge, which I still kind of want one. I know they don't get good ratings, and you can buy them dirt cheap nowadays, but I kind of want one, especially since I am a Verizon customer, and the 5G version is pretty cheap these days, and I could put my SIM card in it, because I do have a SIM for a tablet plan. And, speaking of, hold on, let me just plug in my tablet. It's probably overcharged. Yeah, so I do have, I got it not too long ago, man. I'm telling you, playing games on it is a blast. It's a Samsung Galaxy S10 FE 5G Verizon version. This is for the S Pen. This is a cool clear case I got for it. Anyways, I play the GTA games on this, on Android. It's a lot of fun. I did stream them from Steam as well, using Steam Remote, or Steam Link, I'm sorry. And that's a lot of fun. But again, I hate needing internet to play my games, I hate remote play. Now, if you have a Portal or a G Cloud, a Logitech G Cloud, because you play a lot of GeForce Now or Xbox Game Pass, then it might be worth it. I used to have a Portal that I gave to my brother for a gift because I knew he would get a lot more use out of it, and he does. I mean, anytime I see him on PS5, I know he's on the Portal, and he tells me he's playing it on the... Oh, shit. Oh. Damn. Wow, that could have ended badly. He gets way more use out of it. I mean, when I got it, I played it a lot. I mean, a lot. And the battery life on that sucker is really good. It's got an 8-inch screen, 1080p. It's not OLED, it's LCD, but man, it looks so good. It really does. It's 60 hertz only. But honestly, if you're playing console games like the PS5 or Xbox One, you really don't need 120 hertz, especially on a portable screen. I think a lot of companies like MSI and ROG waste money on screens that are 120 hertz. Lenovo Legion has 144 hertz. The Lenovo Legion goes kind of a different story because it's a QHD 1440p screen, and I believe it's OLED, and it's 144 hertz. It's a big ass screen. I have another Samsung tablet. Hold on. It's a brand new one. Well, technically it's not, but I got it recently from my work. But it's a Galaxy Tab A9. Fairly cheap tablet, but it's 8.7 inches, 4 gigs of RAM, which I know is really not good. But it runs some modern games really well, believe it or not. It's got 4 gigs of RAM. It's got a MediaTek Helio G99 octa-core processor, which I thought was going to be shitty. But man, I was so wrong. It's actually a really good processor. A really good processor. I'm sure some people would disagree with me on that. Oof, that almost fell. And I got a similar clear case for it as well. But yeah, that's my work tablet. And yes, I have played games on it. I played the new Resident Evil Survival Unit, which was fun until I started getting attacked after not playing for 5 days. My bases started getting destroyed by other players. And then I remembered it's online only. You can't shut off online. Basically, you have to... That's what it is. You basically fight other people. But until that happens, man, for the first few hours, the game is a lot of fun. It's a base building survival game, which I hate typically. I'd never play games like that. But that one is a blast. But again, once my bases started getting destroyed and attacked, I gave up and I deleted the account, uninstalled the game, because I basically got everything I needed out of it. I didn't need anything else. Wasted enough time. And then I tried playing the GTA Definitive games, but it's just not that good for it. Again, it's only got 4 gigs of RAM, and it's a fairly mediocre processor. I mean, you can run it at like low settings, but what's the fun in that, you know? And with new phones. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. There's an achievement here that I'm forgetting. Oh, shit. All right, let's see if I can do it now. I'll just get this out of the way quickly. There we go. Sexy climb up vault. I love that that's an achievement. That's the level we're working with here, people. This phone's got a MediaTek processor in it, but it's not a G99. It's way worse. It's an octa-core, but it's like MediaTek. It's like their bottom of the barrel, crappiest processor. Now, mind you, they do offer an A9. This is the Verizon model. And it's only LTE, by the way. They do not offer a 5G version. If you want 5G, you have to get the A9 Plus, which has 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigabytes of memory, same as the smaller version, a bigger screen. It does have a better processor, though. Instead of having a MediaTek Helio G99, it's got like a Qualcomm something or other. Not a top-of-the-line Snap. I think it's like a 695, which I think is comparable to like this phone's 855, I think. Anyways, you can get an A9 with 8 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabytes of storage. And you can get it in Wi-Fi only and LTE. The LTE model, though, is international only. But if you want like if you want like Verizon, because I'm a Verizon customer myself, you have to go with the 4 gigabyte version. But I bet that 8 gigabyte version is way better. I know it's like the amount of RAM doesn't necessarily make it faster, but you can definitely handle heavier games, and you can multitask a lot better. But honestly, for 4 gigabytes of RAM and a fairly mediocre MediaTek processor, like, it's no Dimensity. The Helio is their kind of bottom budget processors, with their Dimensities being their top of the line. Like, you'll see some new Moto phones with the Dimensity 7400, 7400. The TCL I had, the 50XL that I was talking about, had 6 gigabytes of RAM plus 6 gigabytes of expandable RAM, which is now becoming a lot more common than I realized. So what expandable RAM is, if you don't know, is it takes usually 6 or 8 gigabytes of your ROM, which is your storage, on built-in storage, So in that phone's case, it had 128 gigabytes of built-in storage, and it would take 6 gigabytes of that and dedicate it to turning it into random access memory instead of read-only memory, which is really cool. So effectively, it became a 12 gigabytes of RAM, but I mean, it's not quite as good as just dedicated RAM. What? Okay, that's a first for me, even in this game. Usually I make that jump every time. So with that phone, you have 6 gigs plus 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage, and it's got a MediaTek Dimensity 6300 octa-core processor. And that thing, I gotta say, was a beast for what it is. I couldn't believe how good that processor was. And again, that's only like $100 phone. So if anybody wanted me to recommend a cheap Android phone that can play games with a really good screen, despite it being an NXT paper screen, which means it can turn into paper white, which is a really cool effect if you like reading books on Kindle or something, which I do. You could turn your screen basically into like a Kindle Paperwhite display, complete with the with like the same texture. It's got like a paper texture almost. I really like it. Anything from TCL that has NXT paper in it, I think stands for Next Paper. Maybe, I mean, I'm not sure. It has that screen, and it's a really good screen, I gotta say. Maybe I missed that grip the last time. What was I saying about that phone? Oh, so yeah, that's a good phone to play games on. That Dimensity is a really good processor. I mean, I still don't think it stands up close to most Snapdragon processors, in my opinion, but for budget entries, it's really good. I heard the PlayStation Portal's got a Snapdragon, but it's like an old Snapdragon, like a really old. And I have heard when it came out, when you still couldn't really find them anywhere, in which I got one about 2 months after it came out in America on PlayStation.com, because I was one of those people that just kept watching the site, and then I played it for like 3 or 4 months and then stopped playing it. But I played it like every day for hours on end. It's just really a great machine. My biggest problem is the Wi-Fi at work wasn't very good from my office, so it kind of made playing it less fun, you know? I had to play it at home more often than not. I don't know. I'm hoping they can develop an Android iOS version of the remastered titles. I'll tell you what, if they release those on, I mean, you could technically play them through remote play on PlayStation or on Xbox or on GeForce Now. I mean, you could. There's so many ways to play it, but if you want to, like, I want to play it natively on Android, like the GTA games. I would definitely pick it up day one. Day one, like when the Survivor trilogy comes out, which is, I believe it's supposed to be February 26th or February 13th or 14th of 2026. Weapon Master, heck yeah! Let's pick up the shotgun, of course. And there is one for the Magnums and Uzi, by the way. I don't know why my nose is so stuffy now. My Samsung Galaxy Tab S10 FE has a Samsung Exynos processor. I think it's a Exynos 1380 or 1580. And I believe it's 10 cores instead of like your typical 8. And I gotta say, that's a processor that really surprised me. It's really powerful. I honestly always assumed Samsung processors were kind of a joke. You know, because I've always been used to Snapdragons. You know, I'm surprised AMD. I know they got enough work on their plate with PC and handheld PC processors to develop, but like, I'm surprised Intel or AMD haven't. All right, so. Oh wait, no. Why? Let's see. Just make sure I'm not gonna break my neck. There we go. Yeah! Heck yeah. I knew there was an achievement for that. You know, I can understand it being an achievement if you're playing with touch controls, but if you're playing with a controller and you know the game, it's kind of like, what's the point? Alright. One more level. Ah, I hate that. Gears of Doom. So that's for completing that last level without dying. It's a lot of, you know, without dyings in this. Hold on 1 second. Alright, might have to get off of this soon. Oh! Shit. I can see me trying to turn and then roll and get crushed by that thing. Hasn't happened yet, though. Alright, so you can tell that, like, from watching me, I'm sure that the hand is your X button, or A button, typically. Because it switches from a hand for gripping and action, picking up items, to a target when you take out a weapon. Oh. Oof. I do like to save the shotgun for the Wolfram. Just so I keep myself from getting killed. Alright, I'm at 77%. That's not bad. I do have it on battery saver, so it doesn't, like instantly drain all the battery, but of course, because the resolution of the screen is at 1440, which is, you can lower it to 1080 or 720p, and it will lower the battery consumption, but you know what? Not too many phones these days have a 1440p screen. Even my old Nubia Red Magic 10 Pro only had like a basically what it mounted to a 1080p screen. So I think it was technically 1215p or something, 1200p. I don't know. I don't really consider that anything, though. It's not anything, all right? And so many tablets and phone makers will release a screen that's in 2000 by 1200 and call it like if FHD plus. You know what? That's nothing. It's really nothing. Oof. Way too trigger happy on that. That's not what I did. Often I can nail the first wolf before it even gets up, and it'll be dead right in the center on the pillar, because that's where they start. You have to be really good with your timing, though. Now, I have a couple Vitas that I gotta sell, and I also have a PlayStation TV that I want to sell. But the PlayStation TV I have kind of some interest in still, even though I haven't really used it much since I bought it, and I've had it for a long time. PlayStation TV came out, I believe, in 2015 or 2016. And I got it because I thought it would be a remote player. Like a streaming box, no. But with Vita compatibility and remote play compatibility, and that's not what it is at all. What it is it's strictly a Vita / remote player. Essentially, what the Vita is, I think, in Japan, and very limited media streaming. I think you can access maybe Crunchyroll on there, and possibly Netflix. Although I think Netflix might have been taken off. I can't remember, but I don't have either. I don't have Crunchyroll. I don't have Netflix. I'm not into anime. At least not anymore. I used to be years ago. back when Toonami was like still like fairly new concept. Anyways, all right, which way is home? All right, the straightaway. So I gotta go this way. I use Prime Video primarily because I have Amazon Prime, and I have, you know what? I don't need to activate that yet. Hey, some music for once. No, not really, but. I gotta say, the audio quality is really good. That's not the one. I mean, they're probably little crappy MP3s, but they sound really good to my ears. Wow! Holy moly, I'm gonna slowly end up breaking my legs over and over, like just dropping and dropping and dropping. Poor Lara. I will be leaving soon because I will be doing a Bible reading with my girlfriend. But I want to get through this level first, if I can do it quickly enough. Alright. The only thing is normally I would just dump the game right away to do that, but I haven't had much of a chance to. Alright, I think what I want to do, I haven't had much of a chance to play anything in stream recently. Alright, never mind. Alright, guys, I'm going to end the stream here. It's only been about an hour. Let me just go a little further to make it an even hour. And then I'll save it, which you can save anywhere, just like the PC version. Oh. And, let's see if I'll make this jump. And then I'll try, maybe I'll pick it up later. So it says my CPU is at 1.3. I know when I set it to 4K, it uses a ton of processing power. 1440p and 4K don't seem that far in resolution size, but I mean, it seems like the computer struggles to render at 4K, and that's with a really good GPU. Like, I have an RTX 4070 Super right now, but I do have a RTX 5080 I have yet to pop in that I've had for a while. I'm saving it for my other computer, which is an Alienware Aurora, which is sitting unused right now in a box. Alright, so I will save it there. I'll save it right on this platform. And just go down, go down, go to game, flip to, and yes, you can see her details right there. That's kind of cool. Lara Amelia, go save game. I think slot 1's always an autosave slot. Alright, and that's where we'll end it for now. So I hope to see you guys maybe